Hey, this is Tolu bringing you words of encouragement today. I was thinking about this scripture this morning that says, "This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it." And, I've known these scriptures for a long time. And I remember a time in my life where I was like, okay, God has made every day, but then there are days that I really don't see God in it. I just wake up sad. Sometimes the day just holds so many negative things. I'm hearing bad reports. I'm feeling sick. Relationships are going through a hard time. And I wonder, God, how is this the day that you have made if all these things are falling apart? One thing that has helped me to live in that truth is to continue to declare that it is the day that God has made, and there is a way that He's going to show up even through the hard times, even through the problems. What are you going through today? Is it hard? I know that this is a challenging season, just with the pandemic going on around, with loss of job, relationships being attacked, and political atmosphere, just a lot of racial challenges going on everywhere. The atmosphere is tense, and maybe it's not just outside that is tense. Maybe even inside you there are things that you're going through that people don't even know about. Maybe you have your own internal struggle, and maybe, just maybe, every day that you wake up is becoming more and more stressful. Maybe you're waking up and you're like, it's going to be another day with all this trouble. And maybe the motivation to live is even just not there anymore. In my work, I see people who are just tired of living. They're just tired of existing because there's so much going on. And I remember that I've gone through moments like that. And the encouragement and what really did help me was to focus not on all the things that were happening around me, but to focus on God. See, He says, I have made every day, even today, with all the hard times, with all the troubles, and with all the struggles I made today. That is God saying that. And He's saying, I want you to rejoice and be glad in it. Now, that's not very convenient when you're going through a hard time, but let's choose to obey Him. I've come to a point in my life where I just choose to obey God regardless of how I am feeling. So I want to encourage you to choose to say, God, I'm going to rejoice today because you're asking me to, because I know that you're bigger than the problems I have with my health. You're bigger than the challenges I have with my finances, the problems I have with my relationships. I know you're bigger. And if you say rejoice, then I'm going to rejoice, even though it looks stupid, even though it looks like it doesn't make sense. I will rejoice. And on days that I have chosen to not look at what's happening around, but just choose to trust God enough to have a happy attitude, things have been different. Things have been different. Sometimes the situations did not change. It was just my outlook that changed. Because see, a lot of times what makes things really hard for us, it's not even what's happening. It's how we are going through what's happening. So God is trying to help each one of us to be able to go through life, not just by what's happening, but by putting our eyes on Him. So would you choose today to rejoice and be glad in the day, regardless of what you're going through? I hope you choose to do that. One of the ways that you can actually do that is, first of all, just be thankful, because that verse is a thankful verse where you say, this is the day the Lord has made, I will rejoice and be glad in it. It's a thankful verse. So make a decision. I will be thankful. I will be thankful. Look for things to be grateful for. That's one way that you can actually show that you're rejoicing in the day. Secondly, one other thing you can do is tell God about your difficulty. Things are going wrong here and there, God, but you say I should rejoice. here are the challenges I have, and I trust that you're going to help me. Those are two things. Sometimes I do physical things like dancing. If you watch any of my videos before, I always talk about dancing. Dancing for me is an expression of saying I'm taking over my mood. I don't care whether I feel good or not. I just play the music and I dance. And a lot of times I look for songs of praise to God. I look for songs that makes me just focus on God, regardless of what I'm going through. So why don't you try those things? And sometimes too, one last thing that I would share with you is I look for someone to help. I look for someone to help in the midst of my day, and I don't have to look too far. Is it a friend who needs someone to talk to? Is it a family member who just needs some patience? Is it a client who needs some grace? So around you, when you just are able to take the attention off yourself and put it on other people, it's going to also lighten the burden. So I just pray for you today that whatever you're going through, regardless of what you're going through, regardless of the pain of what you're going through, or maybe the joys of what you're going through, that every day when you wake up, you always think about, it's the day the Lord has made, and I'm choosing to rejoice and be glad in it.